this is Leah the Sunstar coming to you with another message about this upcoming Venus retrograde. If you like this video, please leave me a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm so glad to have you all back, and I want to get into just a little bit of talk about Venus. Now, I am by no means an astrologer. I am an empath and a spiritualist and a light worker, and I am very connected to the earth and very connected to the planetary transitions. And as we go through these retrogrades, they can be a little bit hard to navigate. So I love giving out these messages and positive energy. So following this video, you're going to see a list of videos documenting some special positive readings around your Venus signs. So in the comments section, or in the info section, my apologies, under this video, you are going to see first a link to my mentor, Dr. Stormie Grace. She is an astrologer, and she can give you some of the more intricate details of Venus being in retrograde. Also, I'm going to give you a link to a website where you can get a free birth chart. So if you already have your birth chart, great, lovely, wonderful. If you do not have your birth chart, this is a free website that will give you your birth chart, and it will let you know what your Venus sign is. For example, your Venus sign at birth could have been in anything. So I'll give you a real life example. I am a Leo sun sign with a Virgo rising, moon in Capricorn, and my Venus is in Cancer. So that means when I was born, the sign of Venus was in Cancer. For this particular Venus retrograde, Venus is going to be in Scorpio and move to Libra. So let's get into it a little bit. So right now we're in what is called the shadow period for Venus going retrograde. And how can I describe Venus in a shadow period? Venus is going to sleep. You know, some people like to use a different analogy. I like the sleep analogy. So you know when you get really sleepy and you're like fighting it, you're like, that's what Venus is doing right now. Venus has been doing that since September the 2nd. It's like, go to sleep already. No, not really. So Venus is the planet of love. Venus is all about our relationships, and not just romantic, but all relationships. And it also impacts our money and our finances. So think about it like this. I know that some of you all may have heard of the book, Women Are for Venus, Men Are for Mars. So in astrology, Venus represents love. Venus represents fun. Venus represents rose-colored glasses, right? Mars represents war and action and taking action. So when Venus goes to sleep, let's just reverse. When Venus is awake, which means Venus is direct, when Venus is rotating around the axis like it's supposed to, we have less complications in relationships. Let's just say that. One might say that you're looking at life through rose-colored glasses when Venus is direct, because Venus is all about wanting things to be lovey-dovey, romance. Yeah, I'm all great. But when Venus goes to sleep, you kind of get the reverse of that. Stuff gets a little wonky around relationships. And what that means, what it could mean for you. Now, I am by no means a psychic. I don't know how it's going to work out for you. But here are a few things that could potentially happen and you want to look out for during this time period. So one thing that happens when Venus goes to sleep, which Venus will officially be retrograde on October the 5th. Write that date down, October the 5th. So Venus hit its shadow period September the 2nd. And October the 5th, Venus will be knocked out, hibernation. So you may have already started to experience some things. So let me start with the positive. The positives of Venus going retrograde, it allows you to reflect. Now, what might you be reflecting on? You may be reflecting on self-love. You may start to think, oh wow, I really haven't been giving myself the love and attention that I need to give myself. So you may start to reflect on stuff that you're not tending to. Could be your home, could be your finances. You could be like, oh wow, I've been neglecting this. Venus going retrograde as far as relationships go. You may start thinking about ex-lovers in the past, and you might be thinking about, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? What do I not want to do again? What do I not want to allow again? Other things that might happen. You might run into an ex. An ex might hit you up. That's not uncommon for Venus retrogrades, because retrogrades means retro. Past, previous, old, stuff's not moving forward, stuff is standing still. So then you might start reflecting on the past. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing about retrogrades is it is not a time to act. Retrogrades are a time to reflect. Retrogrades are a time to think. If some disturbing things come up in your mind, like you're like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about this person? Don't take it personally. It'll pass. It will pass. It will pass. It is the energy of this planet, this wonderful, beautiful, lovely planet. This Venus goddess going to sleep on us. That's what it means. Now, back to the rose-colored glasses. Back to something that could potentially be negative during this time period. So when Venus is direct, like I said, we tend to wear rose-colored glasses. We might not be seeing signs and warnings of things that are going on to our face. So then when Venus goes retrograde, things start to come out. Same things happen when all the planets go retrograde, except for all the planets have different meanings. They represent different parts of the body. They represent different things. So with Venus going the way it is, going to sleep, we may be tempted. We may have temptations. The temptation to cheat. If you have already been cheating, you might get exposed during this time period. Again, the rose-colored glasses are coming off. If you have not cheated, you might be tempted to cheat it. You might be thinking about an ex or wanting, oh, this might actually work out with me and my ex again, blah, 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 blah. No, no, no. This period, and let me just say this. If you are doing some things that are not ethical, moral, of any kind of integrity, again, this is the time frame where things could come out to the light. So you just want to be cognizant of those type of things. If you've been feeling neglected by a partner, by a friend, you may end up doing something else that, again, you wouldn't normally do if this planet wasn't asleep. So again, it's a warning, it's a red flag. Don't take any actions. You might be in a relationship and all of a sudden you might get so angry, because that is the shadow of this planet. So the light side of this planet is loved, but everything has yin and yang, right? So the flip side of this planet is war as well. So love and war. Just remember that. So during this time period, say you are in a relationship and y'all argue like once a month. Well, during Venus retrograde, you might argue 3-4 times a month. Or you just might find yourself angry. Or you just might be like, oh, I am absolutely positively done with this. You will regret it once Venus goes back direct. So again, don't make any decisions, and be cognizant and aware that if you have already made some inappropriate decisions, those things could come to the light during this time. If you've been a little naive, that could come to the light at this time. And again, this is all surrounding friendships, relationships, and your relationship with yourself, not just with others. And I'll give you an example. For me, since Venus started to go to sleep, I've been really, really more attentive to myself. I've been doing things like doing my own hair, trying to learn new techniques like how to crochet and do stuff like that. Now, when I say crochet, I mean hair, y'all, not really knitting and crocheting. I mean hair. So it's not that I'm not going to support my hairstylist, whom I love very dearly, but I've been like, oh my gosh, like, let me do this for myself. Let me do my eyebrows. Let me do my hair. Let me take better care of my body. Let me eat more fruit and eat more vegetables. Let me drink more water. Let me love on myself more. Let me get some skincare. I like that rose water skincare. Let me try that. So since Venus started dozing off, as I say, that's what's been happening for me. So my focus has really been about self-love. And have I been taking care of myself? Have I been saying no to some things surrounding people and other things? And have I stopped neglecting myself? So again, retrograde periods are a time to reflect. Retrograde periods are a time to revisit and revise, even with your finances, making sure that your bills are paid, making sure you take care of debt. These are things that might come up during this time period. You might have a debt collector that comes out of nowhere. You might start seeing things come out of deferment if you have things deferred. Just want to pay close attention to your financial commitments and obligations as well. Now, for my upcoming videos, I am going to be doing brief, little quick, I would say 5-minute videos about your Venus sign. So instead of looking for your sun sign, you absolutely have to know your Venus signs going into these videos, because I'm going to be doing, for example, Venus in Aries, Venus in Taurus, Venus in Gemini, Venus in Cancer. I'm going to do all 12 signs, but in the planet Venus. So you have to know what your Venus sign is. And again, I'm going to put that link below so you can click on it, get your birth chart. If you have questions, you can always email me at Leah, L-I-A, the T-H-E, sun, S-U-N, star, S-T-A-R, @gmail.com. And I'll be glad if you have any issues about your birth chart. Once you get your free birth chart, if it's not clear what your Venus sign is, please, please, please send me a little message and I will get back with you as soon as possible. I want you all to be encouraged. I want you all to know that this is 40 days every 18 months. The planet of love goes to sleep for 40 days every 18 months. So that is a blessing. Let me tell you, the last Venus retrograde that came during the springtime of 2017, it was an emotional roller coaster. But again, this too shall pass. So please be mindful that you shouldn't make any big decisions during this time. You shouldn't make any big luxury purchases at this time. Please be careful with your heart. Please be careful with your money. Please speak with integrity and speak with honor in your words to say what you mean. And please, please, please be cognizant of this is the planetary energy. It will affect everyone in different ways. There's no shame in it. Be well. Take care of yourself. Try to give out as much love as you can, because the more you give out, the more you receive. And really, really, really during this time, think about the things that you haven't been doing for yourself that you might need to do. Lower your expectations if you have a partner, because depending on their sign and Venus being in Scorpio and Libra, you really don't know what you're going to get. Typically, things might go well if your Venus is in Scorpio or your Venus is in Libra. You might be in luck. But the rest of us, I'm not sure. Again, everyone, I would love, love, love to hear from you all. Please leave me a comment. Please like and subscribe. And again, I am Leah the Sunstar. Leah the Sunstar @gmail.com. Light and love, everyone.